And now we need to get the uranium. It's a new goal. We're 4 weeks into this war. Did anybody hear about we're going to go and get vial, like containers, scuba-sized containers of uranium? Did anyone list that? Okay, weren't we told in June that we had destroyed their nuclear capability, obliterated? Didn't we hear that? Now there's like untold amounts of uranium in the mountains of Iran that we need super specialist engineers to go in to grab, creating our own airfield with base support. Like, when did that become the goal? Because what we heard from President Trump was, make sure you watch Micro tonight on Fox News. And that was his message. We got to get the uranium. That's our new goal. And now the Wall Street Journal the next day drops a piece saying the uranium, it's going to be a daring, exciting mission. Got to get everybody hyped up for it, for the next big show that endangers the lives of our troops.
Oh, man, they're going to make me agree with Megyn Kelly. What could be worse than agreeing with Megyn Kelly?
When your ankles swell up 3 times the size they were before, that means heart failure. And he does look sick. And he does babble and, sound like the brain's not doing too hot.
God, okay, all right, fine, all right, okay. But at least maybe some of these psychopaths are standing by their guy, right? Laura Ingraham, right?
So if we cannot come to some type of peace deal with people who can't be trusted, then what? Well, looks like the U.S. is going to escalate. President Trump is already warning of widespread further damage, threatening to hit electric generating plants, oil wells, and Carg Island, as he's reportedly considering sending ground troops in to secure the uranium. Now, knowing what little time we have and how quickly this can spiral out of control, we still have a lot of questions. For instance, was the president fully briefed about the risks of all of this from the beginning? And was he then able to take it all in and understand the complexity of this, how complex it could actually get, and further possibilities of casualties or other damage?
Wait a minute, I know this one. This is the one where you ask rhetorical questions as a way of laying the groundwork for future spin, like, hey, maybe the president just didn't understand. Maybe he's kind of dumb and he didn't understand that there were going to be consequences to his actions as the most powerful man on the face of the planet. I see what you're doing, Laura. There's that evil showing through. You had me in the first half. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, here is some more Laura Ingraham because I can't get enough of that charisma. You know what I'm saying?
So I honestly do not see, frankly, Laura, an end to this unless we absolutely break their back, and that's going to involve at least American special operators on the ground, allies in the region, the Kurds in the north, and then the Iranian people to rise up because 80% of them hate this regime.
Well, they don't have weapons either, so it's a little tough to have a revolution when nobody on the ground is armed. Congressman, very complex. It's a lot more complex. It's not Venezuela. It's more complicated than that.
Yes, Laura, it does seem a bit more complicated. I do agree with you there. But see, I was under the impression that when it comes to people who are against this war, that it was just Democrats.
It is not just Democrats. Last night, Laura Ingraham on her show said, we still have a lot of questions. For instance, was the president fully briefed on the risks of all of this from the beginning? And was he able to take it all in and understand how complex it could actually get, including the potential for casualties or other damage? Or was he told this would be relatively quick, an in and out operation? And then CNN is reporting today about a meeting that happened with President Trump and Secretary Hegseth and other top officials once Trump had decided that he did want to go in. And they were talking about how Hegseth was downplaying some of the risks of this conflict spiraling, some of those risks that we may be seeing now, not only with the potential for casualties, but for the Strait to perhaps remain closed and in control exclusively of the Iranians.
Okay. One thing I'm always fascinated by is spin, and I want to see if you can spot the spin from Scott Jennings, who, according to Google, is a strategist. Now, call me Shirley, but I think that if your spin as a Republican strategist is to say that Donald Trump is just like super smart, you might be running out of ideas.
He is not an isolationist. He has never been. People have tried to ascribe this to him.
Okay,
he has been for
also
smart engagement, not willy-nilly engagement, but smart
engagement.
He
has also repeatedly warned against Democratic presidents launching wars against Iran. He warned it about Obama. He claimed that Kamala Harris would do it. He has used a war in Iran as something to argue against his political opponents.
And resisted doing it.
And so I think that is important to note, because when you're running for president, you say the other guy is going to send you to war with Iran, and then you become president and you go to war with Iran. That might seem like a bait and switch to his viewers.
Well, I think he would say you'll have a commander-in-chief who's smart and knows what they're doing versus people who would not be as smart as me. I mean, that's essentially the argument in political campaigns.
Okay,
I have better judgment
a
than
bait
them.
and switch.
Oh, of course, Donald Trump, the genius. I mean, who can forget when he said, let's see here, nothing bad can happen, it can only good happen. And who can forget the classic that he bellowed from inside a Tesla, everything is computer. So anyway, I think what we have here, folks, is a classic good cop, bad cop scenario. Or more specifically, good Republican, bad Republican. Or even more specifically, ignorant Republican, bad Republican. Because those are basically, I think, the two options. But what I'm curious about is whether any of this doubt that is being expressed throughout the right-wing media ecosphere will waft into the ears of Trump's most ardent supporters. Because if sending our young men and women to die in an illegal war that we started is something you can tolerate, what's next? Are you going to tolerate the president being a felon or all over the Epstein files? And there it is. I answered my own question. But there will be doubters. Maybe a dozen, but still. And so hopefully people expressing this doubt, whether it's on Fox News or CNN, can help give some people kind of an out. It allows them to go, okay, this is maybe not somebody I should be supporting. And I don't know about you, but personally, I feel like MAGA itself is kind of deflating right now. I don't know how much it's fracturing. Maybe it is, at least online. But just in general, it seems to have lost as a movement, like it's kind of sedentary. It's just sort of on the couch and sad, like that meme of Brendan Fraser from The Whale. I've never seen the movie, but you get the idea. Anyway, in the meantime, you can just make sure to keep track of what Scott Jennings is saying, because they seem to be panicking. So even if they're not sedentary, they're at least on their heels. And Scott Jennings, I think, is really one of the more pathetic people. But actually, that's the end of the statement. Yes, Scott Jennings is one of the more pathetic people, period. Actually, we'll just end the video there, I think. So anyway, see you next time.
Hey, thank you so much for watching that entire video. Now that you're here, you deserve a reward. And that reward is more Rebel HQ content. There's a lot of ways to get it. You can click the like button and the share, and then you share this video. It'll get subscribed to you more, the things that we make on this channel. But also, if you click the subscribe button and that little bell, it means you'll get notified every time that we release a new bit of content on this channel. And then if you're feeling really randy, why don't you just click the join button? And for a small little bit of financial support every month, you can keep this channel going, providing the path of most resistance to those who are trying to take away your rights and liberties. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.